Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for joining us for another Team Footprints Coaches Clinic Spotlight. Today, we're excited to feature one of the guest clinicians, Jelani Williams of Northfield Mount Hermon, a traditional powerhouse within the prep school space. He's an up-and-coming coach that is well respected in the basketball development space, serving as a mentor for college students and also student athletes of all levels. Coach Williams, tell us how it was your experience with our coaches clinic, and thank you for taking time out of your day to work with us.
No, thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity. This is my second time doing this event, and it's just a really good time to, reconnect with old faces, meet new people, learn from others, and, just overall sharpen my skills and my tool set, as we get along here, closely to the season.
It looks like you start out your player development session. It looks like you're starting out perhaps with a ball handling session. Tell us about the purpose behind that, the skill that you're working on, and what you're trying to build within your players.
Yeah, so first, when it comes to player development, we really want to be able to attack the basic skills necessary to play the game overall. And so obviously being able to dribble the ball at a high level is key and essential in order to get on the floor at any level. So in our workouts, when it comes to, just the overall team, small groups, individuals, we really want to drill down the basics of basic simple ball handling. And so as you'll see right here, the very, very first drill that I started with is, we're staying stationary, we're dribbling to our knee, we have a little resistance from coach or coaches, being able to stay low, have our head up, dribble with while taking pressure and contact. While it may seem boring and monotonous, we really want to be able to drill these basic things into our guards, our bigs, our big wings, anybody that's on our team be able to handle the ball is crucial and essential. And so we'll start out dribbling out to our knee. We'll go into small fingertips, like really low by our ankles, keeping our fingertips on the ball, being able to dribble in tight, low spaces. We'll go right hand, then we'll transition over to our left hand. And this is mainly just in the stationary, place. And so, as you'll see, we really want to keep the energy high. Guys and young ladies, anybody they may get, bored with this, but greatness is boring. And so we want to be able to drill these things every day.
Okay, makes sense to me.
Following, stationary after we're warm, keeping up the high intensity of, or the mindset, I should say, of getting warm and getting active. We'll do these drills every day. We call it vitamins. And so we'll do these at the beginning of practice or open gyms, from guards all the way down to the bigs. And this right here is on the move ball handling. We'll go two balls, going at the same time, going as fast as we can without losing the ball, staying low, keeping the ball, below our knees and our head up, being able to see the floor. We'll go up and down, with that, group, however many lines you may have. We'll want to go up and down the court. As soon as that first group is back up, we're gonna switch it now. We're going to alternate dribbles.
Mhm.
So you have to get a rhythm. We're working on our right hand and left hand at the same exact time. Again, going full court, getting a nice sweat to start the practice. The music is going, energy is high, um, and yeah, so we do these every single day.
And you call them vitamins, and I'm guessing vitamins you have to take every day. So that's why it goes back to your theory about every day. I got
Essentially. And, this is really important in player development of just being able to, with the young guys and young girls, however, what position they may be, that some kids may stop growing at a certain time. Some kids may continue to grow. And so being able to handle the ball, if you're, 6 foot, 6'4" or 6'8" is imperative. And so the build up after we get done with the two basketballs, everybody will have one ball, and then we'll go full court again. But now we're going one ball. We're keeping the ball low, and we're going low crossovers.
you. Hmm.
Same mentality. We want to keep the head up. We're dribbling low, staying low, going as fast as we can without losing it. And we encourage mistakes in our gym.
Hmm.
We want guys to go as hard as they can, and if there is a turnover or a mistake happening, it's all right. We're a very positive program. We want to keep the energy high, and so being able to have that mindset of keeping your chin up when you're playing, and then when positive plays happen and when negative plays happen is crucial for us. And so after the crossovers, we'll transition into between the legs, no dribbles in between.
Mm-hmm.
Again, just staying low as possible. Mistakes are encouraged. It's all right. You
Mm-hmm.
pick the ball up right back where you messed up, got the turnover, and you keep on going.
Looks like you have a hard working group right here.
No, this group is very talented, very hardworking, very energetic, very connected. Even though they probably don't know each other very well, they kept it good. They did a good job over the hour that I had them.
Okay. So after the ball handling, a quasi warm up, it looks like you. Oh, okay. You transition right into passing. They're facing. So I'm going to guess it's like a passing off the bounce type of thing, off the dribble.
Exactly.
Okay.
So once we get done with our vitamins, that main course of just four up and downs with the four different drills going full court and the stationary work is our vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do those every day. This particular drill is called partner passing. And so we'll do this every once in a while when we have the time. We try to carve out maybe 30 to 45 minutes of player development every practice in open gym. Um, and so this is just adding on to our individual skill set. And so this drill is really unique because you're partnering up with somebody and you're standing right in front of them. The key with this drill, as I let it play, is everybody starts with their right hand. And so what everybody starts with their right hand is going to be 1 pound between the legs, and then we're passing with our left. And so we're
Okay.
working on multiple things. We're working on being able to handle the ball, being able to make an on time, on target pass. We're passing with our left hand, right? A lot of players are right hand dominant, and so being able to pass with both hands, and as you get older, being able to have that skill at a young age is also very good once you want to get recruited. We'll switch it. We'll start with our left hand, pass with our right, and as soon as you catch the ball, the purpose of the drill is to be able to catch it with one hand, the left hand in this case, and
Mm-hmm.
go right into the dribble between the legs and pass with the right.
Okay. It looks like you have some younger players here. They're making a couple mistakes, but as you mentioned, you encourage that to help them get better in the long run. Is that accurate?
Exactly, exactly. We encourage teaching. We encourage our guys to ask questions and make mistakes. We understand that some of these players may not have done these drills before, and so it's all right for them to be able to, ask questions and mess up as,
Okay.
as they get better with the particular drill and or skill set.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can obviously, if you have younger players, this is a drill we started with between the legs and then we ended up going behind the back. But it's also very effective, no dribbles, right? You could just have a pass, you're catching, passing and catching,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you're my partner, you're across from me, you're starting with your right hand, you're passing to my left shoulder. I'm doing the same exact thing, and then we pass back and forth if you want to work on your hand-eye coordination, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can add one dribble, same thing. One dribble, same thing. Two dribbles, pass, right? We want to make sure that we're passing, following through as opposed to a nice shovel pass or yeah, we're just throwing it. We want to make sure we're following through with our pass, making sure it's on time, on target, and we're hitting our teammate in the numbers.
Gotcha.
And so the build up, once you get more advanced, once the players get more advanced, you'll be able to do two moves out of it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as you'll see, a couple of the players. And it's all right. Again, right? It's their first time doing it probably, and they're on the younger side right here in the middle.
Yep. Yep.
But the key with the two moves is that you start with your right hand. You do two moves. The ball is going to end up back in your right hand.
Yeah.
And so you're passing to that person's left shoulder.
Hmm.
Once you catch it on that left side, you're catching it with one hand, you're immediately putting it down, going right back into the same exact two moves,
Hmm.
and you're passing with your left. And so we're alternating hands when we pass, again, adding to the fact or the skills of being able to pass and dribble the ball at the same time.
Yeah, as a fan of basketball, I've noticed a lot of people not being able to make certain passes, and it looks like you're trying to address that in your player development segment right here. So,
Exactly. 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 And so in the previous clip, you saw we went double between the legs. I challenged this group to see if we can go double behind the back. And again, it allows us not only to play through mistakes, but communicate with our teammate. How can we get better at this? What's the timing? What's the rhythm? Right? We talk about a lot about communication being just verbal, right? But I feel like this is a non-verbal communication thing as well. Right? Being able to be in rhythm and in sync with your partner, right? Dribbling at the same time and making on time, on target passes because you guys are both getting better.
good stuff.
And we'll kind of zip through this as well. Um, and we'll do these again, we'll do this maybe, as many times as we can throughout the week and throughout the season. Another big fact, adding to the connectivity of this group, we're really big on energy. I mentioned before, right, in our vitamins, we want to have music going in the gym. We want to have high intensity, right? We want to be able to create an atmosphere of not only fun and high intensity and energy, but connectivity. And so we're really big on one acronym. We call it EGBs, energy generating behaviors. Right? So anything of positive energy is considered an EGB. And so if my teammate falls on the floor, my job as his teammate and his brother is to be able to run over and sprint and pick him up. If we have a turnover, if we have a good shot, if we, have a game-winning dunk, right? Everybody needs to have high energy. I should be giving my teammate a touch, right? A
Hmm.
touch or a dap or a high five, whatever your terminology may be. Our terminology here at NMH is a touch. And so at the end of every drill, we want to be able to give touches. And so we're promoting connectivity. The most connected team always wins.
Hmm.
Positive energy is always transferable.
And that obviously will build culture within your program over a long period of time.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
And so immediately after partner passing, I really wanted to touch base on the fact that a lot of players nowadays at the high school level, guards mostly, have trouble making pocket passes in the pick and roll.
Hmm.
Um, and at our level, it's so fast, right? Guys are going to Georgetown, guys are going to West Virginia. Um, guys are going high major schools, and so the level of play is really, really quick and really, really advanced. And so in this demonstration, I'm working on with our players being able to dribble and make the pocket pass to our partner, right on time, right to that person's hip, right? Practicing this. A lot of teams and a lot of players don't practice these pocket passes.
Hmm.
And so for us being able to drill these down in our individual workouts and even just small groups, not necessarily the entire team, but just small groups, right? Going down all the way with our right hand and coming back with our left is imperative in the pick and roll. Obviously, as you know, pick and roll is one of the main sources of offense nowadays. And so being able to make that pass to the big man, to the rolling man's hip is really, really important for up and coming guards.
Yeah, I think that's important, and I also like the fact that you're moving. I think a lot of passing people drills are based upon a person standing still, but the game of basketball, no one is standing still for more than 0.2 seconds. So this drill looks like the person is moving and they have to be able to give them an on point pass while in motion.
Correct, correct. We don't want to have that pass be too far ahead,
Right.
have that pass be too far behind, or too high or too low.
Mm-hmm.
Right at the person's hip is perfect. We want to find that middle ground when it comes to these bounce passes to be able to, make an on time, on target pass. And you have somebody with you, right? The person that's your partner in this case is literally just walking at your pace. They're parallel with you, right? And they're adding to your growth and you're adding to their growth.
Again, culture.
Yep. Yep.
Good stuff.
We can kind of zip through this. Another key fact is being able to stay low the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of players like to take breaks. And when things get hard for them, they like to just, have a good rest. And so in this particular drill, staying low and staying in the athletic stance the entire time, even after you pass it, you're still catching it with one hand. You're having that hard initial pound dribble, right into it between the legs. One more pound dribble, pocket pass.
Good stuff.
And so next, what I like to transition to um, is finishing. And so we covered ball handling. We should be nice and warm. Should have a good sweat going. The energy is still building, still growing, is still there. Music is still going. And so now we're transitioning into the finishing aspect of the game. And being able to make quick reads and quick decisions is huge in player development for us. Right? Game related drills, game drills that are going to be able to translate over into the game, into reality is big for anybody. And so in this particular drill, it's really, really simple. You're going to start out with two lines at the 45 slot area. You can see me, I'm at the nail. I'm playing the help defender. I'm playing in the gap. And so I'm
Mm-hmm.
guarding this young lady right here in red. Right? I'm plugging. And so on this pass, right? Where I'm getting ready to talk about it in a second. We want to be able to step with our pass out on the dribble, right? So we're stepping with our right foot, passing with our right hand, coming to a complete stop, right? Trying to avoid the charge. As soon as we see the defender's numbers, that's when we kick to the next man, to the open man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because we see that the gap is being plugged. We come to a complete stop. We step with our pass. And then now the receiver of that pass, his job or her job is to be able to rip low and attack in a straight line.
Right.
Right? We don't want to be in a situation where we're making rounded drives and we're not getting to the main objective, which is ultimately the basket.
Yeah, I think you mentioned pick and roll is big in offenses now, but also drive and kick is just as big. And it looks like it's a drive and kick and get them to attack the basket as fast as possible.
Exactly. We want to be as efficient with our dribbles as possible. So the less amount of dribbles we can get from point A to point B is great.
Mm-hmm.
You can see Prince, the young man that just made the layup before the kid in gray, he actually did a stampede. And so we talk about that as well, being able to catch it and drive and run right in through the ball and catch it going downhill, being strong and taking that contact and finishing through the rim.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can get creative with your finishes. For that first half of the drill, we started out with just 2 foot finishes. Try to get as high as we can, touching the backboard if your players can. And so now, once we finish that, we'll make about 20 as a group. 10 to 20, depending on how big the group is. And then we'll transition into 2 foot floaters. Right. Again, another very essential piece of skill for your guards that may be on the smaller side or the less athletic side,
Mm-hmm.
being able to finish over a high hand and taller defender, adding some touch, working on our working on coming to a complete stop and avoiding the charge,
Mm-hmm.
and driving in straight lines.
Yeah, I love the fact that you have them planting off of 2 feet. That's very important. Just like on 1 foot, but for the most part, 2 foot is probably more accepted to avoid the charge situation.
Exactly. Exactly. And then once you build up off of the 2 foot floater, you can get creative. You can go into a Euro step, finish on the opposite side with the outside hand. You
Mm-hmm.
can go Euro step, finish with the inside hand. You can go drop step, spin. Again, these are all layers of finishes that we like to talk about with our guys when it comes to just finishing at the basket. And now also you can go right into pull-ups. Again, this is not just a situation where you're going to be driving to the basket every time. We want our guys to be able to read the defense when they get out into the game. And so now 2 dribbles, right? We're getting to this hash, the second hash right here, and we're pulling up, 2 dribble pull up,
Mm-hmm.
ripping low, 1 dribble pull up,
Mm-hmm.
and then ultimately catch and shoot threes would be the final build up or pillar in this particular drill. 2 on 2.
Gotcha.
And so then we'll transition into 3 on 3. So then we'll keep the same lines that are in the slot, but then we'll just add another line in the opposite corner of the ball. And so now we're simulating not only the initial drive and kick, where I see the plug defender at the nail, I kick to my teammate, I rip low. Now you can see me, I'm guarding the corner
Right.
and I step over and I overhelp. Now the next read is the same exact thing. We're kicking to the corner and the same progression when it comes to finishing.
Okay. So
Right.
that one more pass, as you close out in the real game, they're attacking your closeout. Looks like
Exactly.
you would recover there. Yeah, I got you. And then, again, they're finishing up with two.
Yep. Very key. Very imperative to playing safe and under control.
Yeah.
Right. If you go off of 1 foot, right, there's a lot that can go wrong. Being strong, be able to take a bump, playing off of 2 feet,
Mm-hmm.
very, very key to success in our program at least. And so again, you can have the same build up, finish at the rim, you go 2 foot floaters, you go pull ups, you can go catch and shoot threes. Everything that we do is translatable to the game. And then you can go live. You can make it a small sided game. You work on your offense. If you haven't put in offensive or defensive concepts, I'm sorry. If you haven't put in defensive concepts yet, this is opportunity to kind of see how your players think without exact instruction. Um, and so if you're a gap team, being able to plug your gap, and we call it a jump and swipe on the backhand side. And so this young lady right here that's in the paint, 1 foot in, 1 foot out,
Mm-hmm.
once this drive happens, this initial drive and kick, right, she'll probably be jumping and swiping and stunting from the corner. And so that's when we want to make that extra one more on that drive.
Oh, good help. Yep.
And again, making it competitive, making it fun, making it a live game. You can stat this. You can add wins and losses. You can add constraints. You can add dribble maxes. You can add turnover limits, pass limits. Once it gets to the corner, it's live 3 on 3.
Good stuff. As a big advocate of playing, organically, this is a great drill as long as you teach the defensive principles and let the offensive people just play. You just got to figure it out.
Correct. Correct. And it's a good warm up as well. It's a good 5 minute drill, with no defense, that you can work on. Again, working on your finishes, working on your catch and shoot corner threes, your slot threes, um, things of that nature. And so we'll kind of zip through this particular right here and kind of see what the next play is about. All right, boom. All right, I'll rewind it. Perfect example of what we just drilled. And so we see the young man in the white sees the plug defender.
Mm-hmm.
He makes that one more kick. The young lady in the white drives, right? My guy right here with the afro, Lawrence, he overhelped and he leaves his man in the corner wide open. And so Carson, the young man that's in the gray, he immediately rips low towards the baseline side. He gets caught up, right? But it's the fact that he had the mindset and the wherewithal to attack that closeout. And as
Mm-hmm.
you can see, I give him a touch and try to encourage him, even though he, didn't think the move was the best move. I was happy with the fact that he took what was taught to him not only a few minutes ago, um, and applied it into actual live play. And so I was happy about that,
And instinctively did it.
very instinctively. And then the very next play as well, we get a wide open corner three. And so for us, it's essential to not only cut the court in half and, build from 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4, eventually all the way up to 5-on-5, in our small sided games. But it's imperative for us to use these times and practice to drill concepts that are going to happen in the game. So lastly, what I wanted to talk about mostly in this particular segment following hurricane shooting is concept shooting. And so what I like to do is with our guards and our players in general, I like to, in our small groups, I like to get multiple shots out of one action or multiple actions, I'm sorry. And so initially we have Peyton coming off of a pick and roll, a middle pick and roll. Lawrence is my roller. We're working on that pocket pass that we drilled earlier. Second ball is going to come in. All right, we're going to come off a jail. We're going to come off a wing pick and roll, put the guy in jail. All right, this is the first portion, working on that left-hand pocket. Next, ball comes in. We're coming off, putting our guy in jail. And then we're going to hit the lift on a hook pass for a catch and shoot three. And then third thing is, right, Peyton's going to space out to the wing and then come off a dribble handoff for a pull up at the elbow.
Gotcha. So basically, you're multitasking where everyone's getting a touch and getting a shot.
Everybody's getting a shot.
Good stuff.
Rotating spots. We're making sure different people, experience different things, and we're teaching the game as well. I didn't put it in this particular clip, but we teach the why and the reasoning behind what we're doing. And so, as you can see on when we're playing defense, as I'm playing defense, I'm telling our guards to get to the level of the screen,
Mm-hmm.
be physical, come off shoulder to shoulder. We're reading the tag, we're reading the help.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming off the next pick and roll, putting our guy in jail, right, keeping him on our back. We're letting my big man roll, take the tag with him, and then we're working on our hook passes. Again,
Right. Well,
catch and shoot, knock it down, And the last thing is coming off a dribble handoff. For me, left hand, two dribbles, get to the elbow, pull up,
Hmm.
or a mid-range shot. And not only are they doing this in the physical and learning, but we're also teaching and we're working on, see, like really bad pass, all right? But it's all right. We go back, right? That's why we're working on it.
Yeah.
The next pass is a good pass. We just didn't knock down the shot. All right. And then we'll be able to do this on both sides. We'll have a certain goal. We'll put a time constraint on there on the clock, whatever we feel is necessary in the moment. But we're more goal oriented than anything. And this is just a small group workout. We also want to be able to, in our individuals, have measured success and measured constraints when it comes to our just overall shots in general. All right, we want to be able to rep these things out, ingrain it in their system as early as we can because we're dealing with 14 to 18, even 19-year-olds. And so if we can do these things properly, before they get to the collegiate level, we think we're doing our job pretty well. And so that they can go in as freshmen and impact the game at a high level.
Good stuff. So what's after this as far as your player development? Do you feel that all of these moves are beneficial to the player as far as their skill development overall? Because it looks like they're getting a lot of work, a lot of skills being worked on right now.
Yeah. So like I mentioned before, we're starting out our workouts with our daily vitamins, which is ball handling. We're working our hand-eye coordination with our partner passing.
Yeah.
Uh, we're working on our pocket passes for our guards specifically with the pocket passing drill. And then we're
Hmm.
building up, from ball handling to passing to finishing, creative different finishes, right-handed and left-handed, all the way up into our mid-range. And then we build up all the way to the three. So we're starting from, I guess, ground zero, you could say, and we're working our way up as opposed to starting up top and working our way down.
Yeah. Good stuff.
And so
And
that
on average, and on average, what are your play development sessions like if it's like a group of eight like you have here? As far as time is concerned, I'm sorry.
as far as time, we're on kind of a time restraint here. And so we try to make do with what we have. So the most we'll have is about, 45 to 50 minutes. And so we think, even in that, quote unquote short amount of time, like we can get a lot of work in, um, just working on these necessary skills. And the way we break it up, we do, multiple days of individual skill development. It may be in a small group workout, but it's working on the skills of you as a player. So we'll do 2 to 3 days a week of that, and then we'll go into concept-based player development, which is very similar to hurricane shooting, which is, being able to simulate game-like scenarios and put them in positions to be able to, make decisions at a high level quickly as we get into the season. And so that'll be out of our offensive concepts. And that'll be most likely with the entire team. If not, we'll break it up into four different groups throughout the day. So here are just my closing remarks. Um, Again, I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to, share my knowledge and what I've gained over the past 5 years of being in the business. Starting as, the assistant player development guy at Cleveland State, my very, very first year after graduating from Queens College. It was different for me,
Hmm.
being able to articulate myself in a team environment. was huge. And so growing from year one at Cleveland State, into my now year three at NMH, I think now I've been able to, accumulate some skills and, inspire the youth and now be a mentor to guys that are, older than me, younger than me, at my same age, and even, at my same level. And so I'm really, really appreciative of the opportunity. Um, and thank you.
Well, once again, thank you, Coach Williams, for taking time out of your day to break down your coaches clinic segment at our recent event. We appreciate you. I'm sure that the community as a whole appreciates you. And for those that are looking for you on social media, where can they find you?
So you can find me on Instagram at Jelani.Williams underscore. And then Twitter is JWilliams_12.
Okay. And then we're also posting this actual video on our YouTube page, youtube.com/Team Footprints. We look forward to doing more stuff like this with you, Coach Williams, and other coaches like yourself to get you guys out there because you guys are doing a great job in the player development and also X's and O's space. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.